Hey everybody, this is Social Fruin, High School Top 200. This is brought to you by Fine Line Barbers in Hamilton. Hook up with my boy Vinny, he'll fade you up. Go into the shop and say High School Top 200 to him and get a discount from him as well. So anytime you're in Hamilton, passing through, whatever, jump in and jump in a seat, grab a haircut, hook you up real nice, hook you up. This one is my first thoughts. I'm just looking at all the scores now. This week was going to be one of those weeks where I had to sort of look at both teams, and I'm hoping to get Hastings boys game so I can have a watch against New Plymouth boys. And I said on the radio station as well, when Crowd Goes Wild was when I was on there on Thursday, I said Hastings will remain number one unless Mags play exceptional. Mags played exceptional. I was there today and I watched Mags kind of make Sacred Heart look a bit ordinary. Hastings won 32-3 over New Plymouth boys, who are ranked 24th, and Mags won 34-11. And that's a 2 versus 3, and that to me is kind of the deciding factor, where the 2 versus 3, having those 23 points between them, if that warrants them being the number one ranked team in New Zealand over Hastings. And so that's kind of something that I'm going to work out, and hopefully I can go find some footage of Hastings versus New Plymouth boys. The Battle of the Bridge seemed to be a pretty good game. 19-13. It's good to see Grammar getting better and sort of finding some form, even though they lost. That's still alright as long as progress is there. I think that's still pretty good. Kelston put up 19 points against St. Kennigan's, even though they lost. Hamilton and Tauranga boys, 26-15. That's still pretty good. I'm not too sure if Sacred would actually move back, even though they did lose, because they've got 7 wins. 7 wins, a draw and a loss, and so does St. Peter's. And yeah, I think that will remain the same. It will be more of the 1 and 2 that I think that would be the ones that would move, only because of the circumstances that will happen. Kings winning, Rotorua boys. That's the other one that I wanted to have a think about, because I don't think that should have happened. Napier boys are a good team, but they're just a bit scrambled at the moment. I mean, even if you just look at their roster, like you obviously know that they have a massive roster, really good players, really good talents. They just haven't had a good game plan to fit the players. But that is a good win. I really like that win. 24-23. Yeah, so Rotorua will drop by how much? I don't know, and how much Napier will go up. It will jump a fair bit, I think. Closer enough to the top 25 anyway. Wellington, we're playing basketball with their 88 points, and St. John's College actually going over to Brisbane boys, playing over there and beating them 60-5. And I know Brisbane boys is one of those teams over there. That's one of their top schools over there. So that's massive. That's massive to see something like that. Christchurch boys were playing Ron Kelly as well, and Christchurch boys were playing basketball with their 73 points. Yeah, it looks. Everything looks sort of in order. Rongotai losing. I actually thought that they were going to lose. I picked them to lose sort of as well. Scots are looking really good. So Rongotai would drop back a bit, maybe a few spots, because everybody else seemed to win. Nelson, I heard, were lucky that they actually won. And St. Thomas messed it up for themselves, and they didn't gain that Moeska. John McGlashan College was playing basketball against Dunstan with their 89 points, and everyone's got to give some respect to those fellas, man. Like, I know that everyone's going to look at that and be like, yeah, but they're down there, and Hunter's like, you don't win just any kind of games by like 89 points. That's massive, and they do that weekly. They do that weekly. They put up they put up so much points, and they don't actually get a lot of points scored on them. I would really like to see them play a lot of those teams that are in the UC Cup as well. I just want to see what it's like, how they do against those, because I think they're going to win some games. They'll win a lot of those games in there. I'll see what happens. See if they actually get to play Southland boys and Otago boys first with Deans, and see how they do against them. Like Rory's just massive, and they got some good locks with them as well. Kirk and that. Other scores: De La Salle had a good win. St Andrews had a good one as well. Marlborough boys. Yeah, they had some really good wins in these other ones too, and so like Tamaki College had a good win today as well. So against One Tree Hill. So I'll have a look at the rankings and see how it goes. But Tamaki College looks like that'll be a team that may jump a couple up the rankings. Wesley as well will jump up in the rankings as well. I was at Manurua as well. I was at Rewa and I was watching them against Matamata, and yeah, they just had no kind of Matamata had no kind of answers for those big boys anyway. Just too big and too physical for Matamata. So yeah, those are the real surprising ones, and the ones I really wanted to look at. And so in terms of the rankings, things like that, well, everything will kind of sit, and the number 1 and number 2 is going to be the big question, and it's going to be whether it's worthy enough to make the number 2, make Hastings number 2 and Mags number 1, or just leave it as it is. And so yeah, that's going to be something I'm going to think over for the next day, and then on Monday everyone will find out what it is. And yeah, keep an eye out for the reviews as well, and we'll see what comes back. Still got some more rankings to go, and congratulations to everyone that made their regions under 18 teams. I'll be at the Chiefs ones this next week, and then I'll be at the under 18s versus Chiefs versus Blues as well, which will be a pretty massive game. I like going to those games too. Seeing all the talent at once seeing all the matchups is good too. I like that. So yep, everybody have a look out for Monday and see what happens with that number 1 and number 2. Leave us your thoughts and let me know what you think. Peace.